Today we're going on a food crawl in Flushing, Queens, New York City, home to the world's largest Chinatown. We'll be joined by a native New Yorker who will show us where to go and what to order like a local. Hope you brought your appetites. We're gonna eat. Well, the cool thing about today's tour is that the first stop is literally steps away from the subway.
I mean, New Flushing Bakery is an iconic breakfast spot. They're really known for the egg tarts, also their Mihael style or Portuguese style egg tarts. It comes out fresh in the morning, so we're here, first stop.
Which one do you recommend we
gotta get both, because it's a little different.
Okay, we'll do both. I've had both separately in the New York Chinatowns. I've never done both at the same time to compare them though. 5 pounds of egg tarts here, ready to rock.
It's different because the top is actually bruleed and caramelized, and actually in Cantonese they call it po tot.
Okay.
And the po is because there's some Portuguese influence, because these came from Macau and they made their way towards Hong Kong eventually, and it's really popular over there too.
All right, so this is one of the breakfast staples of Flushing, Queens, Chinatown. Let's take a bite. This is as good as I remember it. Not the first time I've been to New Flushing Bakery. So crumbly, it's just very delicate.
I think it takes a lot of skill to make this. Personally, I don't know how to make this at home, but like you said, it's delicate, it's eggy, but very balanced.
It's a little messy to eat on the street. I wouldn't recommend you downing this in one bite. But it's so good.
That's funny.
We're gonna time this by the flights. Filming in Manhattan, it's all about the buses and like the street noise. Here, it's about LaGuardia Airport, like non-stop planes flying overhead. I feel like your average American, when they think about Chinese food, they're probably gonna overlook the breakfast staples. They usually just look at like your standard dinner options.
There's a lot of different Chinese breakfasts. I mean, this is a good example, right? But I would say classic Chinese dessert manner, it's not too sweet. A lot of Chinese people, that's how they compliment dessert. They say it's not too sweet. If it is too sweet, they start to think that it's a little too much, but.
Which is the opposite of American donuts for breakfast, for example. You want it super sweet. This looks a little bit more delicate in the middle, like it's gonna ooze out.
There's different styles. Sometimes it's more of a full crust. You can tell this one, again, is like very layered. These are usually more simple. There's no brulee or caramelization on the top.
It's a lot simpler, I would say.
It's eggier and more dense.
Yeah, just gets right to the point with the egg.
If you're someone that actually prefers simple foods, I think this is the way to go.
If I was to eat one of these every morning, probably be this.
I agree with that. If I want to indulge in one, I'm going with the Macau Portuguese style. But this is just classic. You can eat this every day.
So you've been coming here since you were how old?
4 or 5, maybe. My mom would bring me to her spots, the spots she likes. But I feel like as an adult, I've tried to explore a little bit more on my own.
Do you think it's changed at all?
I think there's a lot of new like real estate projects here. Park Hotel over there and Skyview Mall, when that came up, was like the big development. And I remember the first one was Queens Crossing, right on Main.
They got the most popular item right in the front.
Yeah, this is their chili oil wontons, and everybody comes here for this. This is White Bear. Hi, could we get one order of number 6? Sorry, shisha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Winning. I've been to this park before. I know exactly.
We used to come here as like high schoolers, and for whatever reason, we used to call it TB, but I don't know what TB stood for. Whew, this is hot. You gotta wear gloves for this.
I got some of the oils already coming out of my hands here.
That's how you know it's gonna be good.
I actually think this is one of the most popular dishes on TikTok and Instagram from Flushing, Queens, the wontons with chili oil on top.
It's on every like Flushing food crawl list, essentially.
I've even had this before. I know the price has gone up a little bit, but what prices haven't gone up in this city lately?
Yeah, inflation's everywhere.
We got a boiled wonton with chili oil.
Yeah, Northern Chinese essentially, and it's really good. I think that's what makes Flushing special. There's a lot of mainland Chinese spots in Manhattan, Chinatown, which is probably, I would say, probably more popular. It's pretty homogenously Cantonese.
Definitely a lot of cool foods to try out here. All right, let's give this a go.
Cheers.
Let's take a bite. You know, soft, chewy. Chili's not that spicy, I'd have to say. I think it was a little spicier the last time I tried it, but it's just a perfect snack for sharing with friends.
They've definitely made their chili oil more mild over the years, but I think it's still really delicious. These are pork-based. You see chives in there, scallion as well. I would assume there's probably minced ginger in here as well.
Yeah, if you want more of the oil, you can just dip your wonton right there.
What I do like about this is that, you know, with the Sutton peppercorn, it's more of a numbing spice, right? It kind of sits on your taste buds and kind of stays there. subtly, as opposed to maybe like a Nashville hot chicken. Like you eat that instantly, it's fire breathing down your throat. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is better. Now, if you're watching, you've never been to New York before, it's about 22 minutes from Grand Central on the LIRR to get to Flushing, 35 minutes or so on the 7 train from Midtown. Do you think this should be on every tourist's radar?
I do think so, because I think it's the culmination of the true New Yorker experience. Being born and raised in New York, the reason why I've stayed is I love the diversity. There's a lot of accessibility here. We're really lucky for that. And for me, it's like, you could get a different flavor of what our Chinatowns look like. I mean, there's Manhattan Chinatown, and thinking about New York, Manhattans and Flushings are the biggest, but they offer different things.
The crazy thing is today's video is basically 3 blocks. We are showing you the easiest possible food crawl in Flushing, but as the title of his video says, this is the world's largest Chinatown. This goes blocks upon blocks upon blocks. You could spend years and not see everything.
And that's, to your point, that's how dense it is. That's how much is going on here. I mean, when you look across the street, there's just stores on stores on stores, and there's everything. You mean, there's a crab house over there, there's literally Flushing ice cream factory over there. It's pretty much endless.
Got a Malaysian restaurant.
Yeah, it's endless.
Well, this is easy. Our next stop is right across the street.
Yeah, it's right there.
All right, so this is one of the best grab-and-go street foods in all of Flushing.
$2.50 Peking duck buns.
Normally, you don't equate duck with being cheap.
No, not at all. And it's like really just paired on the spot. We're just doing it right now.
Oh, that's it?
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, that's hot.
It's as hot as the chili oil. Ooh.
We got the Peking duck bows for $2.50. Usually with Peking duck, the skin needs to be crispy, so they actually use air pressure to essentially blow air under the skin and prepare it. But they were cutting this up right there. You know, this is one of the most popular stalls in Flushing, so let's give it a go.
For me, this is just like greatest hits of Flushing. I have been here before. It's never let me down.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
You know what I really like? The sweet glaze on top of the duck. I love sweet, like sweeter foods like that.
Essentially like a really thick honey maltose goes on the skin. And then you got hoisin sauce right here, giving it that sweetness. I mean, I crushed my duck, it's gone.
$2.50, gone in 2 bites.
Well, you're more civilized than I am.
Normally it's not true. You know, it could be a little bit messy with some of the sauce. What I find so interesting about this is you think of duck in a lot of cuisine, let's say like a French restaurant, that's one of the more expensive items on the menu. Here, $2.50.
And they also have the option of just straight up getting their roast duck, which is different from Peking duck, but get that over rice and it's a meal, and it's not that expensive.
And again, this sticks to our street food theme of the day. You can just grab this and go, like bring this home for everybody. All right, you guys are in luck. Next 2 stops are inside this food hall. After you.
It's gonna be great to go inside.
I love food halls like this. Love them, love them.
Trying to find the spot. Where is it?
I think it's in here.
Let's look again. Maybe it's not in here. we walked right by it.
We're looking all over for it. It's right in front.
So this is my first time here as well, but I think it's really awesome that there's a Xiaoping place in Flushing, and also this is again Northern Chinese food. I think it'd be hard to find this in Chinatown, Manhattan Chinatown.
Yeah.
That is.
And the favorite thing for me is I have never tried a Shaobing before. So living in New York City, you have opportunities to try foods from other countries, other cultures on a daily basis.
3个这个，而且3个红豆饼。可以。Yeah， 谢谢。Yeah, so Xiaoping, what it directly translates to, Xiao means like roasted, right? And Bing means flatbread. You know, people do it in different ways. This is essentially a roasted or baked Xiaoping.
So this is my first time ever trying a Shaobing. I didn't even know what this was until today. And we're showing you the sweet version first. We're gonna go backwards. We're gonna start with dessert.
So this type I've never had because she said there's sticky rice in here.
Okay. All right, let's discover this. By the looks of this, I was actually expecting this to be a lot sweeter and like more sugary than it is. It's really interesting. It's crispy on the outside, tender on the inside, like nothing I've really ever had before.
We also ordered the red bean paste filling. For people that have had that, it's actually kind of similar, but imagine a rice texture that's sticky.
She led us back there to film. She like stopped operations, had no idea who we were. I thought that was so cool. That's so local here.
We were saying she was doing everything, taking orders, rolling out the dough, putting the dough into the oven, egg washing the dough. It was incredible.
Love that about Flushing. So many small little family-owned businesses like that.
Yeah, and it's completely homegrown, and I think that's what makes it special, right? That's what keeps this community going.
Thank you so much. Wow.
So sometimes when we make these videos, we don't tell them we're coming and the owners just get excited. So this is a sauce aroma pancake. I'm not even sure what is in this, and that's half the fun right now. I'm just gonna try this. It tastes kind of like a focaccia bread. Like it was giving me Italian vibes, but a little spicier. Justin, I want your take on this.
Damn, this is really good. I feel like it has layers to it. The texture, that can't be easily achieved. And also, it seems like a sweet and spicy sauce. It seems like there was also bacon bits in here. There's also scallions in here. Like, and watching her make it, I was like a kid in a candy store, just the way she was making it was incredible.
It's like your grandma was just cooking in the back. My favorite things I've ever had in Flushing, hands down.
My brain synapse is firing off because I've never had this before.
Oh. So hot that we have to like double wrap the bottom to even hold it. And I was joking off camera, this is like a, I don't know, Chinese calzone, stuffed on the interior, got lamb cumin. All right, let's try this. I actually didn't even get any of the lamb in my first bite, and I'm happy about that because now we're letting it air out a little bit. The little onions on top of the lamb, cumin flavors excellent. This is so interesting, a Shaobing, because you know I'm fine with meat being stuffed into something. I'm used to that, but all the juices, that's what's keeping this piping hot.
You know, what's amazing about this is really, I think, again, the texture, the fact that there's soup inside, there's really meaty filling in there, but then you get this flakiness on the outside. I mean, this is worth burning your hand for. I've already done it 5 times since we've been here, but it's delicious.
That's the theme of today's video. Everything's been piping hot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like eating a soup dumpling too quickly if you don't know any better. The hot soup squirts out.
Absolutely.
Flushing, Queens, you can find like almost every type of Chinese food imaginable. Ooh, Shaobings. I want to let everybody know Justin runs a really great account, Hungry Artist NY. Tell people about yourself, where to find you.
It's at Hungry Artist NY. I'm a New York City-based food content creator and artist. I actually illustrate foods as well as tell food stories, and it's great to be on today.
If people want to buy your art, put a link in the description.
Yep, it's hungryartistny.com, but link down below.
Next stop is right next door. This is the easiest commute ever.
Can we get #1 signature?
This place has by far the longest line and most people waiting, for good reason. We got the signature Joe's Steamed Rice Roll, and you can tell we're in the right spot. Even Anthony Bourdain ate at the original, so that doesn't say something, I don't know what does.
This looks like it has beef, pork, shrimp, dried shrimp that is. It's also layered in the steamed rice roll exterior, which, you know, John referred to. It's soft, but it really has a pull to it, and that's because of the starch in the dough that they use. And it's topped with sesame seeds.
Let's give it a whirl. Let's try it.
All right, cheers, man.
Cheers. Oh, I know it's popular, but definitely one of the best steamed rice rolls I've ever had in New York City.
It's popular for a reason, and I forgot to mention there is fried egg in here as well, and vegetables. I would say it's a very balanced meal. Like it doesn't make you feel too heavy, and the sauce on it's fantastic.
The best part is you get to season it yourself. You can use their in-house soy sauce, or if you're a little bit more adventurous, some of the hot chili oil right here.
There's also doenjang vinegar, which is black vinegar. I love spicy food, so definitely got to give a little hot chili oil.
I want to try a little. I'd say medium heat.
But I really like it. It's really balanced. I mean, it's not that spicy like John said, but I like it. The flavor's there. It's really nice.
Both of us said we were so full, and we've suddenly grown second stomachs for this.
I got second wind. I'll probably regret this later from being a full perspective, but yeah.
One of my favorite things about coming to Flushing is these little food stalls, these markets. I can't think of too many other places in New York City that even have this.
I mean, there's some in Manhattan, Chinatown, but it's pretty rare to find. And I would say this is reminiscent of what you see in Asian countries, like when I was in Hong Kong, and this is what we saw there on a much larger scale, but this really reminds a lot of people of home, and it's cozy and it's intimate.
It really is like traveling without leaving New York City. That's the magic of the 7 train. 35 minutes from Midtown, you're here.
Now that you've seen Flushing, Queens, Chinatown, in this video we show you some of the best spots to eat in Manhattan's Chinatown. Very convenient for most tourists. Head here next.